If regulation is about calming the system, orientation is about giving it a reference. Most people think posture is about pulling the shoulders back. It's not. Orientation is about how your head, spine, and body organize themselves around gravity. When orientation is off, you don't just look crooked, you feel crooked. You feel twisted, shifted, like your skull isn't sitting right, like one hip won't settle, like one side is always tighter than the other. That's not random. That's orientation. Orientation is spatial intelligence. It's your body's internal GPS. Your nervous system is constantly asking, where is my head? Where's the midline? Where is gravity? Where's stable reference? If the upper cervical region loses clean feedback, the entire spine reorganizes around compensation. That's when you see rib rotation, hip shift, shoulder elevation, functional scoliosis, chronic unilateral tension. You can stretch the tight side forever. If orientation isn't restored, it will come back. The first place we address orientation in Freeborn Rebuild is through a pattern called the Northern Star. This isn't stretching, it isn't forcing alignment, it is restoring head, spine reference from the ground up. When we take the body to the floor, we reduce variables. We remove unnecessary compensation. We allow the system to reorganize around gravity instead of fighting it. I'm going to show you a simplified version now. For the Northern Star, we get on the floor. You can do it on the bed if you need to, but we want to get on the floor. Place our hands on the head to touch our head. And then we're going to move ourselves to the north while our elbows weaponize in the direction they're pointing. Open up space between the shoulder blades, holding a low intensity, steady state, reaching force, activating the serratus anterior. I immediately feel like I get relaxed when I get into the pose. Breathing, slightly tucking the tail. This is the Northern Star basic pose. From here we have a lot of different options that we would go through. Many of you are going to want to put a towel under your head so your head is slightly off the floor. And it can get very detailed for each person's specific issues. But in essence, this is what's going to help us create that activation up and down the ligamentum nuchae. Good dish. What matters here isn't intensity, it's reference. When the head regains clean relationship to the spine, the rest of the system begins recalibrating. You don't force the spine into position, you restore positional intelligence. That's orientation. And without it, integration cannot organize correctly. Now let's take this one step higher. If Northern Star rebuilds orientation from the ground, Bearded Dragon refines it upright. This is where upper cervical control becomes conscious, subtle, precise, controlled. Again, it's not stretching, not cranking your neck, not forcing posture, just restoring reference. I'll show you what it looks like. In a seated position, not trying to get too tall, but you're holding some length at the back of your head in sort of this activated ligamentum nuchae. And this is the Bearded Dragon. It's a rotation to the left with a side flexion to the right. Boom. So I come this way, sweeping as if this is the wrong way. This is not how we should rotate, which is what most people are doing. They tend to bring their face closer to the direction they're rotating, when really what I want to do is I want to slide my face away, like there's a little bit of an attitude in there, sort of like, what did you just say to me? What? Right, there's this, because when I bring this side flexion with rotation, I'm getting length tension through the mastoid behind this ear, and that's where I'm activating the splenius capitis muscle. Okay, so this is where we get this really powerful capacity to harmonize the muscles in the neck through the bearded dragon, and you can do this all the time. This is how you rotate in life. This is a program. We changed the program. Notice what changes when reference changes. Breathing shifts, mid-back engages, shoulders reorganize, tension redistributes. That's not coincidence. That's orientation feeding integration. You cannot integrate force through a distorted reference system, and you cannot build sustainable strength on top of misinformation. That's why posture drills fail. They chase appearance, they ignore reference. In Freeborn Rebuild, the progression is regulation, orientation, integration, strength. From day one, we touch all of them. But there is order. If regulation isn't stable, orientation won't hold. If orientation isn't clean, integration won't organize. If integration isn't coordinated, strength becomes compensation. They overlap, but they unfold sequentially. Orientation is the bridge between calming the system and building strength that lasts. If you constantly feel crooked, shifted, like one side never settles, it may not be tight muscles, it may be lost orientation. Next, we'll talk about integration and why strength without organization creates fragility.